Hello there. Welcome to Hope Not Hate, the hates group, which hates the USA, hates white people apparently, hates President Trump especially because he's obviously a racist, xenophobe, homophobic lunatic, but despite the fact that it supports an ideology which has made war on the West and all our values and made slaves and sex slaves of Western Christian, Jewish and Hindu people for 1450 years, in fact. Yes, we have a State of Hate report, 2019, which alleges all these far-right hate groups, dangerous, deadly hate groups, which have killed, one person? One person the last few years. Yes, I mean, if you could count her, Joe Cox. That was an independent guy. He wasn't actually a member of any far-right group, as far as I understand. There was no connection made with any of the far-right, with Tommy Robinson or Paul Golding, but they spouted it all over the media. Yes, here we are. Oh, here's how to stand up to the dangerous far-rights. The far-rights who certainly for many, many years have never conducted one deadly attack, have never bombed any Manchester Arena concerts, have never, certainly not en masse, attacked thousands and thousands of white girls and Sikh girls. Yes, this is what they do. For 1450 years, their book has told them they have the right to do this. As the judge in Rotherham recently, Mr. Slater, I think it was, yes, he called the police indifferent and useless. Yes, this report came out on the 30th of August. Google it yourself. I might even put a link underneath. Yes, no mention of these disgusting, racist, hateful, violent, extremely violent drugs and paedophile gangs, which are roaming all across the country. I mean, you don't have to just listen to Tommy Robinson. Go on to Easy Meat. Look at any of the people who aren't government employed, who aren't bought, classists, who hate all the working class girls, who, you know, these members or members of a certain ideology always attack, because in their ideology, all people not following this ideology themselves, such as Christians, such as atheists, are described as dirty kuffar, dirty ends. Yes, it's worse than the N-word. In fact, you've got a kafir is singular and kuffar is plural. They spell it K-U-F-R all through their unholy writings. Yes, and of course, we don't want to mention that in just the last 31 days in August, there has been 122 Islamic attacks around the world, mainly upon each other, of course, Shia on Sunni, Sunni on Alawite, etc. And I'll put a list underneath. There have been 122 Islamic attacks in 26 countries, in which 519 people were killed and 947 injured. But don't mention this in the State of Hate report, do they? Here we are, Yemen, Nigeria, India, Iraq, Afghanistan. I've no doubt they'll try to blame this on America or the British Empire, even though the British Empire is long gone and only lasted 200 or 300 years. But the fact remains that they've been butchering each other for 1450 years. Shia versus Sunni, Sunni versus Shia, and it's even creeping into the West now. We have these gangs attacking each other, living completely separate lives, going to different mosques. Still going on in Aleppo, we see. Yeah, all over the world. But there's no mention of this in the State of Hate report, which goes on about how Paul Golding allegedly assaulted somebody a long time ago, although there's no evidence and no one was ever took to court. Whereas on the other hand, of course, it has been proven on published statistics that 91% of grooming gangs, this is opposed to normal paedophiles, 70% of paedophiles in the UK are, of course, white people, white men, old men, probably, or of any age, really. But you'd expect that of a country that's 91% white, wouldn't you? But the fact remains that of the disgusting, racist, industrial-scale grooming gangs, 91% follow one certain ideology. Isn't that strange? There's not many Michaels and Joes, or Mohammeds and Ishmaels and what have you. So the next time you want to look at for a bit of hate, a bit of government-sponsored hate, because they get millions of pounds, these people. I mean, even the Canadian government listen to these wallies. And who we are, I'll tell you who they are. a gang of pro-jihad opportunists who are making money off stupid government people that don't know anything about this savage, warlike ideology. So you better, resisting hate as well, they're part of the network. And of course there's Tell Mama who was shown up by the London Met Police as inventing attacks on Islamic people. They were just inventing them. You don't even need any evidence. Just log in, say, oh, this man looked at me in a bad way on a car park, and they class it as an Islamic attack on Islam. An Islamophobic attack. A positive antidote to the politics of hate. Well, this is just a hate website, just like Mock the Right and all the rest of the ignorant bloody teachers who haven't got a clue about this ideology. They think it's all about peace and beauty. They've all heard about it from this lovely guy at college, this lovely lecturer at college. Oh, it's the best system for all mankind, if you exclude the gay killing all over the world, the terrorist attacks, as I say, the female genital mutilation on all its girls, and it's going on all over the country. They're cutting out their little clitorises, even in Bradford and all over London. London's the worst place in the whole of Europe for female genital mutilation, where they hold these little girls down, innocent little British Mus girls, and they pull their legs apart and they cut out the clitoris and the labia, and they're bleeding for days and they can't even stand up. But that's the mercy of Allah, isn't it? I'll put a link underneath so you can read all these terrorist attacks. And of course, let's not forget, it wasn't a Christian man or a Jew who bombed the Manchester Arena or who did the London Bridge attack. It was one of these people, one of these thousands and thousands of potential terrorists we've got in the country. Apparently about 23,000, and they just haven't got the resources to watch them all. It's costing billions and billions every year. Well, I think we should all be put on a peninsula somewhere, with a razor wire fence around them, just like a mini Guantanamo, and drop them the rice and the bullshit halal meat by helicopter. And if you try and leave, just sort them out, because they're too dangerous to be living in London and Birmingham. Far too dangerous for my kids to have around them. Okay, see you guys.